Hey guys, NES Addict here, and today we're going to talk about the Virtual Boy. All that and more, next.
He had the moves, the punches, the fire. But there was one thing he would never have. A way out. Virtual Boy presents more challenges inside the third dimension. Mario Tennis, Tunnel Boxer, Red Alarm, Galactic Pinball. Virtual Boy, a 3D game for a 3D world. Wanna play?
Codenamed VR32 during the development phase, probably because of its virtual reality-like capabilities and the 32-bit processor within, the Virtual Boy was Nintendo's new hope for a revolutionary gaming experience. Being designed by Gunpei Yokoi, who was the creator of an extremely successful portable gaming device known as the Game Boy, and being paired with the Nintendo brand, the Virtual Boy was destined for success. But upon its North American release, August 14th, 1995, there was an underwhelming launch day turnout that sounded less like crowds howling to get their hands on the SNES Classic and more like... Now, I'm not here to talk about why the Virtual Boy failed. That's been well documented as being due to a high price point, a monochrome color scheme of blinding red, and well, the antisocial nature of the device itself. But I am here to talk about my collection and my personal thoughts on the system. So let's start out by talking about some of the games that came out for the Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy had 14 official North American released games, such as Mario Tennis, Mario Clash, Galactic Pinball, Telro Boxer, Waterworld, Red Alarm, Virtual Boy Wario Land, Jack Bros, Tetris, Vertical Force, Golf, Nestor's Funky Bowling, Panic Bomber, and Virtual League Baseball. Now I only have 7 of these titles, so I'm officially halfway there, and I do plan on completing this collection as it's only 14 games. So before I tell you about the first game I got for my Virtual Boy, let me tell you really quick how I got my first Virtual Boy. The very first Saturday that I ever decided to go yard selling, I decided to make one last stop before calling it quits. As I wasn't having super great luck, I think I had found maybe a GameCube controller that day, and that was about it. So I plugged into my GPS the one last address I had and made my way there with high hopes. Once I got to the yard sale, I quickly found the owner of the yard sale and asked, "Hey, do you have any old video games for sale?" Because everyone knows that's the first thing you do, you just ask. And the guy took me into the garage and said, "Well, we have this." And to my surprise, I saw an NES console with nothing else, and this Virtual Boy was sitting right beside it, complete with the controller and a game stuck inside the compartment here. So I quickly asked him what he wanted for it before anyone else had a chance, and he said, "Give me $5 for all of it." And so I took it for $5. So I like to say I paid $2.50 for this Virtual Boy. Upon getting it home, I turned it on and it worked perfectly. Both eyes work, which is kind of surprising as usually one or the other does not. So the first game I actually played on my Virtual Boy was the one that was stuck in it, which was Mario Clash. If you don't know anything about Mario Clash, it's like an updated version of Mario Brothers for the Atari 2600. And with that yard sale, I had been bitten by the bug to search out all yard sales and thrift stores for more video games. Because who gets so lucky to find their first day going out a Virtual Boy? I guess I was. So after getting my Virtual Boy, it began to harken memories of me seeing a Virtual Boy kiosk in a Kmart near where I live. And I remembered playing Mario Tennis. So Mario Tennis was the second game that I sought out because I'd remembered playing it at the Kmart. I think I got it on eBay for like $5, $6, $7. I love Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy. I think it's one of the most fun games on the system, and I can probably play it for the longest without feeling like I'm going blind. So while visiting my wife's family in Ohio, there used to be a little store down the street that actually sold video games, and one day I walked in there and they had golf for the tune of $2. So I picked it up because $2 for a Virtual Boy game, even if it's golf, that's not so bad. My buddy Todd hooked me up with Wario Land, which is considered probably one of the best games on Virtual Boy, and I would have to agree. From my local video game store, the Video Game Cavern, I picked up Galactic Pinball for $9.85 and Red Alarm for I don't even know how much. And that leads me to the last game that I've got for the Virtual Boy, which also has an interesting story. So I frequent a Miracle Hill in my area just to see what they have. I usually go every week, and one week, to my surprise, they walked out with a boxed Virtual Boy. So I quickly paid the $10 they were asking, walked out the door, went home, and could not believe that I got a boxed Virtual Boy for 10 bucks. I didn't even know what was inside of it. But when I opened it up, I was extremely surprised that there was a boxed copy of Telro Boxer smashed in there. So I got the game and the box. Unfortunately, I didn't get a manual. So I got a total of 2 Virtual Boys, 1 complete in the box, even though one of the eyepieces is broken, and another one complete without the box, for a grand total of $12.50. Go me. So while we had the box out, I thought it would be cool to actually take a look at the box and what's inside the box, and a couple stickers that kind of tell the story of the Virtual Boy. First off, there was this Duracell ad here on the corner, and if you mailed in this rebate, you would get 6 free Duracell batteries, which would power your Virtual Boy. The second thing of note is this KB Toys price sticker, where it shows it was originally $99.99, but after no sales, it was marked down to $29.99, basically just to get rid of it. Another really cool thing on this box is there's actually a sticker from when it was purchased. The date says 4/25/97. So this thing sat around at KB Toys almost 2 years after the Virtual Boy was discontinued. And that's why it was so cheap, because it just never sold. And the last thing I want to point out here is the $10 price sticker, which is what I paid at Miracle Hill. So I think I came away pretty lucky on that one. Alright, so now let's open this thing up and kind of see what it looks like inside. So the table that I'm working with here is pretty small, but I'll try to do my best to show you kind of what this looks like when you take it out. So we'll just open up the side here and carefully remove it. So one of the cool things that was also left in this box was there was this cool little packing piece, and it shows you get 6 free Duracell batteries. That's kind of a cool little piece that I'm glad got left in there. The first time I ever took this thing out, I pulled right here, and you can actually see where I ripped it. This is kind of flimsy, and I'm not even sure I packed this back in here right, but we'll take a look at it anyway. So yet again, they gave this little business reply mail insert because they really wanted to show you that Duracell was the company to purchase from to power your Virtual Boy. And there on the inside it shows Nintendo and Duracell. Fill this out now. But no one ever did, so I get to keep it. Here is a little Virtual Boy book that it came with. That's kind of neat. Here is a Nintendo Power insert. Subscribe instantly to get the power, Nintendo Power. Here is the Virtual Boy handbook. Just kind of shows you how to set it up and things like that, but pretty cool that it was in there. Here is the actual headset for my alternate Virtual Boy. I don't use this one because it stays in the box, and because when you look through one of the eyes, I don't remember which one of them doesn't show the display, but hopefully Todd and I can fix that soon. This is what the visor looks like, and this visor is in better shape than my other visor, but just kind of keeping it because I don't really need it, so it can stay in the box. There's a cool little Nintendo logo you might be able to see there. Here's another copy of Mario Tennis that I kind of forgot was in there, but I must have left it in there because it kind of makes it complete. Here is the battery pack. Happy to have a spare one of those. That's kind of nice. Here is the official Nintendo brand AC or DC adapter. I'm not sure which one. Let's look. Looks like it's AC. So that's kind of neat to have because the other one I have is not Nintendo brand. It's third party, second party, whatever the word is. And here is another Virtual Boy controller, so it's nice to have a spare one of those in case mine ever goes out. And finally, what looks like a Virtual Boy stand that has never been used, which is really nice because these typically crack, but this one looks pristine, so that's pretty cool. Other than that, there's nothing in the box except for the word view, which I have no clue what that means. But anyway, that completes the unboxing of the Virtual Boy. Now I will see if I can neatly get all this back in here. I recently watched a video by Video Game Cadet, and he was talking about the Virtual Boy being one of his favorite pieces in his collection that he's the most proud of. And he said because it's kind of the mark of a true collector. And I would have to say that I completely agree with him. I think the Virtual Boy's failure is what makes it such an interesting piece. From a company who almost never goes wrong, the Virtual Boy was one of the missteps they have taken, and I think that's an important part of their history. And I think it's also an important lesson for us as gamers and just people in general, that you can be successful and still make mistakes. And I still think there's a lot to learn from and to be gained from playing and owning a Virtual Boy. As a lover of all things Nintendo, I'm there for the good and the bad, and this is part of the bad history for them, and I think that makes it a very special piece. And so I just wanted to do this video on my Virtual Boy stuff that I own, give a tiny bit of history, and just show off what I have. So guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, and as always, take care.